IELTS Speaking Part 2. Describe something interesting that your friend has done, but you've never done before. IELTS Speaking Part 2. Describe something interesting that your friend has done, but you've never done before. You should say what it was, where your friend did it, when your friend did it, and explain why it was interesting.
Describe something interesting that your friend has done but you've never done before. Part sample answer band 4. Introduction. I want to talk about something my friend did that I've never done before. It was quite interesting, and I've always wanted to try it. What it was, my friend went skydiving last year. She jumped from a plane and landed safely on the ground with a parachute. I think that's very daring and exciting. Where your friend did it, she did it at a skydiving center in a nearby city, which is well known for offering this kind of experience. When your friend did it, she did it last summer during her vacation. She had been planning to do it for a long time, and that was the perfect opportunity. Well, I think it was interesting because skydiving is something very extreme and requires a lot of courage. I've never done it, and I'm not sure if I would be brave enough. It must have been a thrilling experience for her, and I've heard it gives you a feeling of freedom. Conclusion. So that's something interesting my friend has done that I've never tried. Maybe in the future I'll give it a go, but right now I'm not sure. Describe something interesting that your friend has done, but you've never done before. Sample answer, band 5. Introduction. I'm going to talk about something my friend did, and it's something I've never done. It's quite interesting and something I've thought about doing. What it was, my friend went on a road trip across the country. She drove for several days, visiting different cities and landmarks. Where your friend did it. She did it in the summer of last year. She traveled around the United States, visiting national parks and famous tourist spots. She went on this trip during her vacation last year, right after she finished university. Why it was interesting because she got to see so many new places. I've always wanted to go on a road trip, but I've never had the chance. Also, she told me that it was an amazing way to explore and spend time with friends. So that's something my friend did, and I would like to do it too in the future. It sounds like a fun and adventurous experience. Describe something interesting that your friend has done, but you've never done before. Sample answer, band's introduction. I want to talk about something interesting my friend did that I've never tried. It's something I've thought about doing, but I haven't had the opportunity yet. What it was, my friend went skydiving. Like, she told me it was a thrilling experience and something she'd wanted to do for a long time. Where your friend did it. She did it at a skydiving center near her hometown. The location was known for being safe with experienced instructors. When your friend did it, she went skydiving last summer. It was during her holiday when she had some time off work. Why it was interesting. It was interesting because it's something I've always wanted to do, but haven't had the courage to try. She described the adrenaline rush and how amazing it felt to free fall from such a high altitude. It seemed like an incredible way to push your limits and experience something completely out of the ordinary. Conclusion. Overall, I think skydiving would be an exciting and memorable experience. It's something I plan to do one day, even though I'm still a bit scared of the idea. In this, describe something interesting that your friend has done but you've never done before. Introduction. I'd like to share an interesting experience that my friend had, something I've always been intrigued by but have never had the chance to try myself. What it was, my friend went bungee jumping, which I think is one of the most adventurous and thrilling activities you can do. She had always wanted to try it, and when she finally got the opportunity, she didn't hesitate. Where your friend did it, she did it at a famous bungee jumping spot near a river in the mountains. It's a popular location because of its scenic views and the height of the jump, which makes it a bit more intense. When your friend did it, she went bungee jumping last summer during her trip to the mountains with some close friends. It was a spontaneous decision, and they booked the activity on the same day they arrived. Why it was interesting. The reason it was so interesting is because of how brave and spontaneous it was. She told me the whole experience was both terrifying and exhilarating at the same time. She mentioned that as soon as she jumped, she felt an incredible rush of freedom and a sense of accomplishment. It's something that really pushes your limits, and I've always admired that. Conclusion. In conclusion, I find bungee jumping fascinating because it requires a lot of courage, and it's something I'd love to experience in the future, even though I'm still unsure if I could overcome the fear of jumping from such a height. Describe something interesting that your friend has done but you've never done before. Sample answer. Introduction. One of the most captivating experiences I've heard about was when my friend went skydiving, a thrilling activity I've always wanted to try, but have never had the opportunity to. What it was? My friend went skydiving, which is essentially jumping out of an airplane from a significant altitude and free falling before deploying the parachute. It's considered one of the most extreme and adventurous sports. Where your friend did it, she did it in New Zealand, a country known for its stunning natural landscapes and outdoor adventures. The location was particularly famous for its breathtaking views over vast mountains and lakes, which made the experience even more incredible. When your friend did it, she went skydiving about 2 years ago during a trip she took to celebrate her graduation. It was one of the first things she did once she arrived, and she couldn't stop talking about it afterward. Why it was interesting. What I found especially fascinating was the sheer fearlessness and confidence it took for her to jump out of a plane at 15,000 feet. She described the experience as both terrifying and liberating. She told me that for the first few seconds, her mind went completely blank, but then the adrenaline kicked in, and she felt an overwhelming sense of freedom and exhilaration. The sensation of floating in the sky was unlike anything she had ever experienced before, and the view from above was absolutely mesmerizing. In conclusion, although I haven't yet gathered the courage to try skydiving, it remains an activity I deeply admire for its ability to push people beyond their comfort zones. Hearing my friend's vivid account of the experience has definitely sparked my desire to try it in the future, even though I'm still a bit hesitant. Something interesting that your friend has done but you've never done before. Part sample answer. Introduction. One of the most exciting and inspiring things I've heard about was when my friend went bungee jumping. It's something I've always been intrigued by, but for various reasons, I've never taken the leap myself. What it was, the activity my friend did was bungee jumping, where a person jumps from a great height while connected to a large elastic cord. The thrill and adrenaline rush are what attract people to it, and it's known as one of the most intense extreme sports. Where your friend did it, she went bungee jumping in Queenstown, New Zealand, which is widely regarded as the adventure capital of the world. The jump took place at the Nevis Bungee, one of the highest bungee jumping spots, located over a deep ravine with a stunning river running beneath. When your friend did it, she did it about 3 years ago during a trip with a few other friends right after finishing university. It was part of a gap year adventure she'd planned to explore the world and tick off some items from her bucket list. Why it was interesting. The reason I find it so compelling is because of how brave and outgoing she is. To be honest, I could never bring myself to do something so terrifying, but her fearlessness and the excitement she felt afterward really made me admire her even more. She described the experience as life-changing, especially because the moment she jumped, she felt a mix of emotions from sheer terror to euphoria. The views were breathtaking, and the sense of freedom during the fall was something she'll never forget. To me, it's interesting because it's not just about the physical act, but also the mental strength required to conquer your fears. Ultimately, while I haven't yet taken the plunge myself, hearing her vivid recount of the experience has definitely sparked a desire in me to push my own boundaries one day. I know that I'm still hesitant, but I also realize that sometimes the most rewarding experiences are the ones that challenge us the most. So who knows? Maybe one day I'll join her on this adventure.